Okay, welcome everybody. Happy New Week. We trust you had a good weekend. So let's get right into it. We don't want to take too much of our time. Thank you for being here. So like we like to always ask, we want to know, we want to have a sense of direction. Which direction is the market going? And the important thing always when you're trading is to just follow a logical process, a process that looks logical to you. Just follow that simple logical process every time. Yeah. So let's see what do we? I'm sure by now you can chorus these three questions. The first question is what did price do overnight? Where is price now? That's the next question. And then what must I see price do before I execute a trade? This third one is the clincher, right? We have to know what must I see price do before I execute a trade. So let's look at our break of structure process. Yeah. So we just look at what price did overnight. So this is the first one. This is gold. So price just tumbled all the way down. Yeah, down to this level, pushed back up, had a small pullback there, pushed back up again, a slight pushback, and then it's pushed up. So giving us a market structure shift somewhere around there. Yeah. So what do we expect? We expect price to pull back. Yeah. Then, so the next question is, so if price has pulled back now, if when you're using your break of structure, so we have a market structure shifts right there. Okay, so this one that price has pulled back, what do you expect next? You expect price to pull back and then begin to go up. Yeah, that's what we expect. So as long as price does not break, so when you're at this high here, you want to know what is your valid range. You want to know at what point, for instance, at what point will this pullback no longer be a pullback but a reversal? Yeah. So we look at from the highest level there, we just look backwards to the last opposite candle, and the last opposite candle is this one here before that break. Yeah, so we can say that as long as price is above this zone here. Uh-oh, what's happening? This one doesn't want to stay. Okay, now it's staying. Okay, so as long as price is above this zone here, when we're using our break of structures, market structure shapes, then we expect that this would be a good place to buy and for us to go up. However, if price then decides that, oh, we're not interested in that, we want to just come back down. When you use that break of structure process, that means that this is now a break of structure, and then you're expecting price pullback and then potentially continue downwards. Yeah, so that's one process. The other process is that if we say, okay, yes, I can see it's a break of structure, but I can also note that it's been a massive push down. Okay, so price has then retraced all the way to this top. It's giving us a rejection candle up here. This is a doji. Then with that doji, it's giving us a bearish engulfing candle to this doji. Yeah, so you can then say, okay, I'm seeing that, and I think I want to take a sell. Now, when you do a counter trend, it's more like you want to be careful when you're doing counter trend, because this is the initial move. This is this potential move now. So this move here can just be a temporary move. It can just move down a little bit. Where is the pencil? Yeah, it can just move down a little bit, maybe even to just wick. No, I want to draw a wick, right? So it can just come in here like this and give you a nice long wick, and then on the next candle gives you a nice bullish engulfing candle. Yeah, so if you enter a sell on this rejection candle, yes, it's a valid setup. However, be careful when you're trading counter trend. Yeah, so wait for that price. If you're not in the market already, this is going to be a late entry. Yeah, it's when it actually closed there or when it pulls back, that will be the best space to enter for your sells. And then you're just looking for quick what's it called, TP, quick take profit levels. Yeah, and then you can then say, okay, if price then eventually closes below like this, we can then know for sure that yes, it's broken structure right there, and then we'll now begin to look for potential levels to continue selling. Yeah, so we always have that decision to make, and it's up to you to decide how do I want to trade this. Okay, do not look at whether, so for instance, if somebody sits here now and says, okay, which one would I take? You decide what you want to take, right? I've just given us a small tip there that what you do, whichever process you use, you must have a level that you say, okay, this is no longer a valid setup. Yeah, just like in business, you put a set of parameters into place and say, if the market does not do this, then perhaps maybe I should look for another business strategy or something. Yeah. So in this one here, you have to decide for yourself that what is the better option to do. Is it to either wait for price to push all the way down and then give you that next market structure shift, and then you enter there? That's an option for you. Or to say, I'll enter right here because of this rejection candle. I want to just take a quick TP somewhere down there. Yeah, and then wait for it. If it then gives you maybe a nice engulfing candle around here, you can then go back up. Or if it decides to say that, okay, we're not even interested in going back up, we want to just flush and go back down to the lows here, then you just follow it that way. Yeah. So there are various ways. We do not know what the market is going to do. Nobody knows what the market is going to do. So do not beat yourself up. You just make a decision and stick with that decision. That's the important thing. Yeah. And then it has to be a repeatable process that you use every time. Once you make that decision, stick with it and repeat it over and over and over again. Okay, so let's look at what the next price action is doing. This is pound yen. Okay, so for pound yen, what did price do overnight? We had a nice gap there. So it pushes up, comes back down, pushes up a bit. We have a market structure shift right there. And it's doing like it wants to, this one here, it looks like it may want to go back up to that level. Yeah. So when you look at the last high, this is the last high. When you look at the last high, okay, and you look backwards, where did price start coming from? Well, you can say this is your zone. Yeah, that's your initial zone. This is the last. This one is actually a bit tricky. I can say the way I'm seeing this is your market structure shift here. This is your market structure shift. So you could even have two levels, for instance. So you can have this potential level here. But I think for me, I'll just look at this and say, if this goes up and then closes below here, then it's likely to come. So let's do that. If this closes below this level here, then there's a high potential it may actually come down to this zone here. Yeah. So if it does not turn around here, then it might come here before it turns around. So you can say that, okay, between this level and this level, I can take some small pips there. Yeah. So it can be something like that. But overall, we have a market structure shift from here. So we're looking for this pullback and then for price to continue going up, potentially. Yeah. But if it crosses those levels, then it's no longer looking bullish. Okay. So Euro Yen is a bit better. This one is looking more bullish than bearish. Yeah. So it comes down, comes up here. Nice break of structures there. Goes sideways a bit. A nice break of structure, and it's pulled back. And then you expect price to come at least back to these highs and then potentially continue going up. Yeah, so we can see a better price action on Euro Yen. Yeah, with a better break of structure. Where's the last break of structure? Is right here. This is the last break of structure to the top side. So where will be our invalid range? So the last range is between this. So when you look at this high and say where's the last opposite candle that caused this push up, is right at this zone here. Where is it? Yes, right at this zone here. So you put that zone and say to yourself, okay, as long as price does not come back and close below these levels here, yeah, as long as it does not close below these levels, then you're looking for potential push up. It's already pulled back, so we should actually be in a sell. If you're at your chart now, this should be in a sell. I think I placed a pending order, so I think my entries will have just been triggered just before we started the class. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the next one quickly. Pound Aussie. Well, Pound Aussie is looking very bearish. So break of structures there, pull back, another break of structure. So it's pulling back again to these tops here. So let's see. We expect a break of structure. So my line in the sand will be actually on this zone. So if it does come back up, so what we expect is for it to come back down. But if it then breaks above and closes above, then I'll be looking for a price to go back up. Yeah, very nice and simple. Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD too. It started sluggishly with a big gap there, all the way down there. And then we have a market structure shift there. It's pulled back now. It did not come back and break these lows here. And it looks like it wants to go back to that top. And then we want to see, so we want to see a break of this top. I want to see a break of this top for market to then continue going back upwards. So we want to see a break and then a potential, yeah, something like this. Yeah. But it's done a market structure shift right here. It's done a market structure shift. It's pulled back and then we expect it to go back up. Yeah. Pound USD. Pound USD too is looking, although it's looking more bearish because of this big gap here, but it's done a market structure shift right there. Yeah, so at the moment, it's done a market structure shift. So sorry, it's looking a bit more bullish. That's what I meant to say. So it's done a market structure shift, and we expect that potentially it will then break this level, come back down, and then continue going up. But where is our line in the sand? This is the last place that push that price up. So as long as it does not break these lows here, then we are good for the buys. However, once it breaks these lows here, then there's a potential for it to continue going down. Yeah. Euro, USD yen. Okay, so this one is a bit, let's see, this up, down, and then up all the way, then down. So we had the break of structure, a massive pullback, and then right now, maybe somewhere around here. Well, this one I can't really. I'm not able to just decide. So given that I cannot decide, I'll just call it a big range. So I'll just call it a big range because it's not looking straightforward to me. So I'll just put a big range there and then expect if it breaks below, then I'll go further down with it. Or if it breaks above, then I'll go up with it like that. Yeah, I won't take anything. I won't take any action within here. I'll wait for it to either break below and then I'll go down with it, or break above and then I'll go up with it. Beautiful. Do we have any questions? Lovely, lovely. Okay, let me check the chat. I don't think there's any questions inside the chat box. Okay, no questions. Good, good, good. So we'll see back at 2 p.m. West African time for the New York session. So thank you very much and see you later.